Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Believe call-in show number 34, Australia's only paranormal live call-in show. Tonight is going to be an interesting night because I'm going to share some news that I found out a little while ago. I think the news is quite old, but I haven't heard anyone talk about it. So I'm very, very excited to get your guys' opinions on it. But for those who are new to the show, my name's Cade Moyer. I'm the host of the podcast Believe, and we have just wrapped up our 14th season of the show. And holy moly, what a season that was. It is we're currently on break. So if you're wondering why there's no new episodes, that would be why. But in the meantime, it's a really good opportunity to go check out friends of the show. I think I definitely featured the Paranormal Portal at the end of season 14. So if you want to go check them out, definitely do, because Brent Thomas does an amazing job. He does an amazing job. So be sure to give him some believe love. He would definitely appreciate it. So also this season I dropped a new episode style, and I don't know how many people actually noticed. I know not everyone really listens week to week, and that's totally fine. But the final episode of this season of episode 10 was a lot of work. It was a huge amount of work. So if you did listen to that, the episode was called "It Whispered to Me." And we put a lot of work into the sound design and everything like that for that episode to really build the tension in the story, because it was a really, really spooky story and we wanted to amplify that. So let me know what you thought of that, because I really liked it. I really liked doing it that way, and I think a lot of people enjoyed the atmosphere that episode built. So if you're one of those people who listened to it, please give me a feedback. I would love to hear about it, because it's been a little bit quiet. So yeah, it would be great. It would be great. So guys, we are in call-in show number 34. So quick little plug right at the top of the show that this episode will go to Believe Plus members. So it kind of disappears from all main feeds basically instantly after it's done. So if you kind of jump on late and you want to hear the entire show, you can do that by becoming a Believe Plus member, $5 a month, and you'll get access to a huge amount of shows that isn't available to the public. I think it's getting up to close to like 50 or so episodes now. So if that's for you, cool. If it's not, that's cool too, man. It's totally a choice. So Jonathan asks, bro, where bro, bruh, where do I get one of those hats you're wearing? I love it. I am working on a hat range at the moment. It's I've just been flat out, but I'm going to be doing some trucker caps, because not everyone likes these little flat brim caps. Some people think they're a little bit wanky. I've got a big fat head, so I need all the help I can get to find a hat that fits me. But we're going to be doing some camo trucker caps, and I reckon I could probably get them down to about $25-$30. So if that's something you're interested in, yeah, we can definitely sort something out there. So he says he likes the flat ones better. Yeah, I know, but this hat costs $50 to make, and that's no one wants to pay $50 for a hat, that's for sure. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. They're quite expensive to get made, but the trucker caps I can get done a lot cheaper. So if you are interested in that, let me know. You know, I'd love to get a little bit more merch out there. But what I'm also going to be doing is a whole bunch of bumper stickers. There's been a huge I guess, cry for bumper stickers. So I'm going to be getting some bumper stickers made up for the podcast. So if you are interested in that, I can get them done really, really cheaply, and probably do like a triple pack of bumper stickers for, I don't know, $12 or something like that. So if you're interested in that, let me know. People are asking coffee cups. Yes, I am also thinking of doing coffee cups, not only for Believe, but for the Cryptid Coffee Co. I'm thinking of doing the little tin cups. So let me know what you think. You know, a couple of tin cups, we can maybe sort something out there. But I do want to let you know that I will be doing a very, very limited run of posters very soon. So a little while ago, I commissioned an artist to do a fantastic sketch, and I will be doing a print run, I think, of 100 posters. So very, very limited in supply, and I think I'll be putting them up on the website. Hopefully, like in the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to do a proper big poster size, so A2, maybe A1. So you think like movie poster size. So thinking of doing that, and maybe for like 20 or $30. It's a big size, so they cost a little bit to print. But if you guys are interested in that, there's going to be a limited run of 100, and that will be individually numbered as well. So, and I'm thinking of doing those at the start of maybe every season. We'll see how this first run goes. But what I want to do is kind of take a hero episode from the season previous and do something like that. So yeah, maybe I can do that and put it out a poll to the listeners and say, hey, what episodes deserve a poster? And I know everyone's going to say the lady getting chased by a yowie on a bike because it's great. And that's a great episode. So yes, I think we'll definitely do that one. So yeah, guys, if you are interested in like that type of stuff, works in the I'm making that happen. I kind of do this type of stuff in between seasons. So yeah, it's a really good opportunity. That's when I take that little break in between the episodes essentially. So about 4 to 6 weeks, depending. Yeah, we can do that. So I'm just going to go to the questions here because you guys are very, very active on the chat tonight. So thank you very much. Also, let me know where you're from in the chat because who knows? I might be in your town soon, just quietly. So I'm just going to quickly go here. So Australian outdoor man, nice poster, will look great in the man cave. Yeah, exactly. I wish I could show you the one that I've got like right here. It's amazing. It's so cool. But it's the first one that's going to be on the market actually. So some people may have seen like a little bit of behind the scenes of the studio here before. So yeah, that's on the wall. If you're interested, I'll see if I can post something to the page later. So just a heads up, guys, if you do want to get on the show tonight, fantastic opportunity is always get in early because it just seems like the last half of the show just breezes by in a heartbeat. So the phone number is up on the screen. The number is 0730403096. And that way there we can get you on the air if you want to share a story or if you want to have a chat about anything. The line is open and you'll get through straight away. So, but however, if the line is busy, we only got one line because, we're small time here. So something I want to share with you guys is an article actually from 2020. And I feel like this kind of just swept under the radar. Definitely swept under my radar, which that's not hard. But this is really interesting because Israel's former space chief admits aliens exist and are cooperating with the US and Israel. So huge if true, as they say on the internet. But blew my mind because I hadn't heard of this. And the article that I'm reading is from Esquire in the Philippines. And essentially, I'm going to read it out so you guys can kind of get a bit of an understanding and maybe we can start a conversation around it. But essentially, it goes finally, someone who has an ample amount of credibility has spoken. Dr. Haim Eshed, multi awarded former head of Israel's space agency, has admitted aliens exist and they have been in contact with the US and Israel for quite some time. Huge is true. Eshed was the head of Israel's space agency from 1981 to 2010. He revealed the information about aliens during an interview with one of Israel's leading broadsheets, and I am absolutely not going to try to pronounce that. So, why reveal the aliens now? According to Eshed, times have changed and people are slowly beginning to accept the reality that aliens exist. I think a lot of listeners of this show would probably relate to that. So, according to Eshed, part of the agreement with the aliens was to not announce their existence for fear of it causing mass hysteria around the world. In recent years, the US government has begun disclosing more and more footage of UFOs captured on camera by its Navy and Air Force. This is likely one of the reasons Eshed thinks it's safer to talk about aliens now. In April of 2020, no less than the Pentagon has released the most convincing proof of aliens, and it's referring to the like the Go Fast, the Tic Tac, things like that. The aliens have asked not to announce that they are here. Humanity is not ready yet, Eshed told the newspaper. If I had come up with what I'm saying today, if I had come up with what I'm saying today 5 years ago, I would have been hospitalized. Wherever I've gone, this is I think there's a little bit getting lost in translation here. Wherever I've gone with this in academia, they've said this man has lost his mind. Today, they're already talking differently. I have nothing to lose. I've received my degrees and my rewards. I am respected in universities abroad, where the trend is also changing. Eshed was quoted, referring to the talks about the existence of extraterrestrial life. That's massive. You know, this is obviously a person who's got their doctorate, has done all the hard yards on basically getting to the point where he is, and then to be, you know, the head honcho for the I guess the Israeli space division. Gigantic. There is an agreement between the US government and the aliens. They signed a contract with us to do experiments here. This sounds eerily familiar, and someone will probably let me know what that is in the comments there. The Eisenhower Accord, I think it might be. I'm not too sure on that. Escher was one of the most respected scientists and statesmen in Israel. Throughout his career, he received at least 3 Israel Security Awards, 2 of which were given for confidential technological inventions. Ooh. According to the paper, Eshed also holds a doctorate in aeronautical engineering. Very. That's intriguing. So apparently Trump knows about the aliens. According to Eshed, the UFOs asked not to reveal their existence because humans were not ready yet. He says US President Trump almost announced it to the whole world, but he was prevented by the extraterrestrials. They have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are, referring to a galactic federation of intelligent beings. So, let me just take a little sippy sip of water, but that is that's mind blowing. And I don't know, did this slip under your radar in 2020? Wouldn't surprise me because, you know, there was a lot of the big C happening in 2020. So it is quite interesting. So Gary Lynn, big man on campus, 2025 is a year I've been told. And I would assume he's referring to disclosure. Or them revealing themselves. Makes me wonder how the world would actually react to that. It's It'll blow a lot of people's minds. It's according to an ET contactee I know from Canada. Very, very interesting. It's I always wonder about this. If if people have been contacted by ETs, like are they on like an inner circle? Do they know what's going on more than anybody else? Peter Turk, you're not wrong, mate. Would go and buy toilet paper. Boy, wouldn't we? It would it'd be mayhem, wouldn't it? It really would. I think it would be a big shock for religion around the world, obvious reasons. Yeah, Gary, just exactly that. Ramifications for religion. It's who knows? Maybe religion is already on board with it. It's just I don't know. I'm not a religious individual. It's not for me. But yeah, it's July 2025. Oh, well, that's good. At least they wait for the new financial year and make sure everyone pays their taxes. Well done. Oh God, it's funny. All right, so I'm just going to go to the chat here, just see if we've got any questions. But here we go. Man, you guys are very chatty tonight. Look up Jim now on Paranormal Portal. Will do. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. I have some very interesting UFO conversations coming up in season 15 with some researchers and stuff like that. So just trying to get a couple of different people through the gates to cover these topics. What was everyone's opinion of the congressional hearing over in the United States? First time in 50 years that UFOs have been spoken about it in the public sense. I don't think a lot of people were too impressed with it. But we do have a call coming in. I'll get them live on the air. Caller, what's your name and where you're from?
Hey, Cade, it's Trucky.
Hey, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm great, mate. How are you?
Very good. Very good. Did you ever get around to doing your Believe catch up? Because I think it was raining cats and dogs when you were last trying to organise it.
That's right. We had one organised for about 3 weeks ago, and we had to cancel at the last minute because it was 3 feet underwater.
Wow.
Yeah. No, we had some really decent rain down here, and all the roads to the site were washed out, and bridges were down, and the whole site was 3 foot underwater. So we had to postpone.
Unfortunate, mate. But I hear the first one was an absolute blast, and I was jelly.
It was. It's great, and we're going to have number 2. We're organising it at the moment. Amy and I are hard at work, and we've asked a couple of guys that are into the Yowie thing, and we're trying to organise another site. We're thinking north of Brisbane this time, because we got in touch with the Sunshine Coast Yowie group, and there seems to be a lot of interest up there too. So I think we're going to try and organise something up somewhere between Noosa and Caboolture, Kenilworth, probably like an hour north of Brisbane, so we can get a lot more people up there. How's yours going?
Yeah, how is mine going?
You put the feelers out, and you got some good response in that. I thought you might like be having yours at a pub or something like that?
Mate, mine would definitely be at a pub. Actually, I don't know. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind like teeing up something where it's a little bit more outdoorsy, because it's actually starting to get a little bit cooler here in Cairns. So that means it's 25 degrees instead of 35, and it's almost the only time you want to be outside up this way. But
winter is coming. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, look, no, I do need to pull my finger out. I do appreciate the public blast. Thank you. And I should do it. I should really do it, because I think there's enough people up here to garner at least a little bit of interest to catch up, maybe sit around a little bonfire or something like that, and talk about all the weird and wonderful things.
Yeah. Well, us down here in the southeast Queensland, we're going to have ours in about 3 weeks. We haven't published anything yet because we're still trying to find a comfortable spot. Like, we've got some spots, but mosquitoes like those spots, and we want to find somewhere that's had some activity. I mean, not necessarily a hot spot, but had some activity, so there's a possibility of some action. So we can camp over on the Friday night and the Saturday night, or just people come in on the Saturday lunchtime for the barbecue and meet and greet and all that sort of stuff. We had a whale of a time last time, and we had a good turnout for our first one, but we're expecting something special for the next one. Even though it is winter time, we have a big tarp set up and all that sort of stuff. So it's not like everyone's sitting in the rain trying to gas bag about UFOs and yowies or anything like that.
Mind you, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, that's it. You can sit. I'll have a big fire going, and there'll be no problems with warmth or anything like that, because like last time there was a dozen of us around a fire under the tarp, and it was a good time. And we had people from AYR, we had people from Sunshine Coast Yowies, and we had some strangers rock up, and we had a good time. So we're hoping for a better time this time, and once we finalise the location, I'll post on the fan page, and we'll get a big crowd, and you've got to better that crowd with your number one light.
Mate, I'll do my best.
Yeah,
I'll do my best. It's
I'm sure, mate. You're a big draw card, so a lot of people come just to say good day to you and get like a signed stubby holder or something like that.
Hardly, mate. Hardly, mate. The guests are the heroes. I'm just the vessel for them.
We were lucky. We were lucky enough. We had Gary Lynn and Buck Buckingham and Shannon Guthrie. They come down for the first one, so we were pretty lucky with them guys. They're great guys, and they've got a lot to talk about, and they're good listeners too. They're just good guys, hey?
Yeah. Oh, mate, you wouldn't find a better bunch of blokes. It's
no, they're great.
Really, really good team they have at AYR. It's they just gel.
Yeah,
and it works great for them.
Yeah, it does. It's really good. Anyway, I won't clog your phone lines, mate. I just wanted to pop on there and give our Southeast Queensland Believers meet and greet number 2 a plug.
Nah, mate, absolutely. It's fantastic. And when you do get that date, I'll have to share it on the main page for you too. So we can
for sure.
Get a couple more people out there for you.
Yeah, well, we'll get him back in touch. We've got Ron Quinton from Southeast Queensland Yowie Group. He's hunting for a place for us at the moment, and
awesome.
we're working it out.
He's a really good guy. He's been on the podcast. He's even in the intro of the podcast, I believe.
Yeah. Well, he was at number 1 as well.
Yeah. Was he? Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So as soon as Amy and I sort something out, I'll get in touch with you. I'll post on the fan page, and you can post on the main page, and and we get a good crowd there.
Absolutely, mate. Let me know when it is. I might have to, if the stars align, I'm going to try and come down.
If the stars align, they did a couple of months ago, didn't they? All of the the planets aligned. Yeah. All right, buddy.
Good to hear from
Love
you.
Your
mate.
work.
It's
good night, all you guys listening.
And yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Hit me up. Let me know, and I'll put it out. I'll put the word out.
All right. See you, mate. Bye.
Cheers, mate. How many Cairns people do we have on the live stream tonight? Let me know. Do you want to catch up? Should we do a catch up? How many FNQ people are watching? I guess that can, Cairns is a rather small city, so it'll be interesting to see how many people are in the region that kind of into this stuff. So, Gary Lynn, get that private jet out of the Shedcade. It's sorry, mate. It's being serviced. It needs work. Sophie, I'm from Cairns. Oh, good on you, Sophie. We should you can help me. You can help me. we'll do that together. It's should be fun. Oh, look at this. We have even more. We have quite a few people from Cairns going in here. So how cool is that? So maybe we should put something together. Let me know if you are keen, because I think it will be fun. Guys, I don't know if you noticed, but this week, very, very good friend of the show, Attila, helped me out with a little side project of mine. And essentially, he put together a ad for my little side gig, which you can kind of see just over here if you're watching the live stream, the Cryptid Coffee Co. And I have to play the ad because, my goodness, I love it. And I've watched it like 4,000 times. They've done a really great job because Attila is doing his new documentary, Track 2. And for that, he had to purchase a Yowie outfit to do some recreations and stuff like that in there. So it's really amazing. And he offered to do a commercial for my coffee. And the great man himself, Yowie Dan, plays the happy camper in this. So if you are a listener of the show, oh, sorry, we just had a caller come in and I just missed him. I was gas bagging too much. I can get you again if you call back up. But what we'll do, I'm going to play this ad, and I will let you get your opinion on it because I think it's great. How good is that? I love it. It's so great. Oh, mate, Attila, you've done the best job in the world of that. For those who are listening to the audio only, make sure you jump on and check out the video version of this podcast tonight, because my goodness, it's just so good. I love it. I love it. My wife thinks I'm a weirdo because I've watched it so many times, but man, it's just so nice. You got to look at it. Right? So, guys, the line is open. And if you have any questions or you want to chat to me, even about this UFO stuff, I'd love to hear from you, because I'm not the most, I guess, switched on, educated person, like historically, when it comes to this type of stuff. So, yeah, that whole thing about there being a galactic federation, I feel like that I've heard that many, many times before. The whole thing about there being like I don't know if it was a treaty that I read, but it was a maybe an agreement or something like that, where they could take people and experiment on them. That all sounds like so familiar to me, and I think it is it's my mind is blanking on it. It's the Eisenhower Accord or something like that. I think that's what it was. So if anyone does know a little bit more about that, give me a buzz because yeah, I'd like to learn a little bit more. But everyone seems to be quite a fan of the of the ad there. So I love it. I think it's fantastic, and it's oh okay. This is a very good question. Cade, what do you think about Stephen Greer? Does he come across as legit to you? Um, for the longest time, I thought it was bullshit. I thought he was fake. Like I thought he was kind of telling porkies. But recently I read Ross Coulthard's book, In Plain Sight, and Stephen Greer makes a lot of gets mentioned a lot in there. Um, I've seen a fair few interviews with Luis Elizondo in reference to Stephen Greer, and he seems to be quite open minded about what he potentially says, which to me I thought was quite interesting. And then I have very, very close friends who do the CE5 protocols and genuinely swear by it. And these are blokes that I would trust my life with. Like that's how much I trust these guys and believe them. And yeah, it's like swaying me to go give it a go because of how authentic and trusting they are of the process. So, Lozando is CIA, someone says. Maybe, maybe not. Um, maybe he was like no expert. Um, but yeah, the whole thing with Stephen Greer. I guess the question that I always have to just go with is, what if it is true? It changes everything. And I think I do have to be very open minded when it comes to this, not like believing everything, because some of the claims that Stephen Greer makes are a little bit too fantastical. But a lot of the stuff that he's said and claimed he's done has actually checked out. Um, having contact with very high levels of government personnel, especially in the defense departments, all turned out to be true, which blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. What blows my mind more is the fact that the main singer from Blink 182 is able to also back up these kind of claims. And the contacts that he's had from there also mind blowing. So yeah, it's definitely something I'd love to get him on the show, to be honest. The last documentary that he made, the director contacted me and wanted to come on the show, and I'm spewing. I never took him up on the offer. Schedules just like really didn't align either because he was over in Chile, I believe, at the time, and yeah, it just turned out to be too difficult. But I reckon I could get him on, at least the director of his most recent documentary, to chat about it, because who knows if it is real? Wow. If it's not, I'm no worse off, So it is what it is. All right. Uh, just going to the chat here. Glenn has asked, "Are you wearing pants, Josh, or shorts?" No, thank you, mate. The feed keeps freezing. Kansas has been having a lot of issues around my area with internet at the moment. So the recording will be fine. That goes up live. So if you are a Believe Plus member, you'll be totally sorted there. Just going back to the questions here. I feel like I missed one here. Jonathan, you can't ask this type of question. That's not fair. What's your favorite Yowie sighting you've had on the show? The next one, the one that's always coming up, because I love Yowie encounters, I love UFO encounters, and I love paranormal encounters. It's and the thing is, like, each one of these encounters is so unique and so different that you can't compare them. What affects one person one way may affect them another person another way. So to say I have a favorite, it's really impossible. I mean, what's your favorite, Jonathan? Do you have a favorite episode of the podcast? Or favorite Yowie encounter that you've heard of? Some of them are just genuinely terrifying. It makes you wonder how you would you gotta live a normal life after having encounters like that. It's hard work. And my hat genuinely goes off to people who just have to live normal lives, especially people who live in like haunted houses and stuff like that. My goodness, you are taking one for the team, because you can't go to your real estate agent and say, hey, guess what? On your next inspection, can you just like get the poltergeist out of the house too while you're here? It doesn't quite work like that. What got you onto the path of paranormal podcasting? Really good question there, Rhiannon. My dad had an encounter, and this is actually going to be revealed in a little bit more detail on a upcoming episode for season 15. But my dad told me he had an encounter with the Flying Dutchman, which is a famous Dutch, French ship, ghost ship, which is kind of like a sign of impending doom. And ever since he told me about that, I kind of got the itch for like the weird, the wonderful, when I was quite young, and it just kind of started to draw me in more and more and more. And the fact that no one else in Australia was doing this when I started. So I thought, bugger, I'm going to be the first. And jumped on, and the rest is history. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. And my God, it's been an absolute roller coaster ride of experiences and stories, because it's blown my mind, some of the things that I've heard. It's just incredible, genuinely incredible. So just going through here, all this stuff gives me goosebumps. Someone said there, Gary, about the if you do have a question, by the way, put it in the chat below. And if you are liking what you're hearing, subscribe to the podcast. Actually, the best thing you can do is tell a friend about the podcast. Get one person to listen. If you get one person to listen to this show, you will make a world of difference to how many people this reaches. This is a great question. Cade, have you had to cut stuff out of your shows because it's too graphic? Yes. Not too. Yes, will just be the way I would put that. Some things just potentially too dark. Some things are just potentially a little bit too maybe not suitable for the public. That's the way I'll put it. And some things I think are a little bit too dangerous, essentially, to put out, because some people contact me from positions where they probably shouldn't be contacting me from. And I don't want to get anyone in trouble, if that makes sense. Um, so there's stuff out there that hasn't been released for reasons like that. Okay, so Helen has asked us, okay, do you believe in Yowies? 100%. I not even like a fraction of a second to think of that, of the answer for that, because there's just too much out there, too many encounters. Out of all the encounters in all the world, if everyone is lying, why? They wouldn't. Well, they could, but I don't think they are. But if everyone out there is lying, but one person, they're real. They're real. So yeah, I 100% believe in Yowies without a doubt, and I can't wait for the day that they are proven, because that there will kind of just turn the world upside down. So it's yeah, for me it would be a no-brainer. This is a great question here. Jason asks, Cade, have you had a UFO or Yowie experience of your own? Yes, I've definitely had a UFO experience. My UFO experience was very mind blowing. Not really. I've had two. So one of them, I was actually, I'm going to go on the record here. I've had three. One of them was very, very vanilla in the sense that um, I was hanging up on washing outside, just doing the household duties, and this light zigzagged across the sky in a matter of a second or two. It was incredible. Just and really massive zigzags too. So like it was something that you wouldn't be possible by any type of man-made craft, to my understanding, anyway. So yeah, that was definitely a an interesting encounter that I had. Another one was when I was actually talking to interviewing Ross Coulter, and he told me about this encounter that someone was having where it was almost like this light, and then little other lights started to come around it, and it was like a flash in my mind of holy shit, I've seen this myself, and this was like over like very very dense bushland, and I could quite clearly see these like lights going around another bigger light, and that was super super mind blowing. For those in Cairns, that actually happened in Brinsmead. I used to own a house up at the top of a very big hill, and it overlooked the Brinsmead Red Lynch kind of area, and yeah, that was quite an interesting one. And the last one that I had, I don't know what this was. The last encounter was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced in my life. Again, I was out in the backyard just doing very mundane stuff. I think I was taking the dog out to do a piss, actually. Nothing cool ever happens, right? And I was out there, and all of a sudden in the trees, and I've got to give some context. Literally, like hours before this, I was interviewing a lady about having encounters with the Fae, like the fairies and things like that. And my mind was like a little bit more opened about that type of phenomenon and so on and so on. So anyway, I was in the backyard, and I kid you not, there would have been a ball of light about that big, maybe like 50 centimeters, like a 50-cent coin or something like that, um, of like electricity, like blue, but it was blue electricity, and it was kind of in the trees. And I was watching this thing, and it was like moving, uh, like it was trying to get out of the tree, and it was very very staticky. And then all of a sudden, it just fizzled away, and it maybe went for like 30 seconds. Actually, it was quite a while, and I just had no idea what it was. No idea. Um, could it have been some weird thing, some light reflecting off something? Maybe, I don't know. Could it have been a bug or something? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it was very very unusual, and I really just have no explanation for it. Um, so yeah, that's the answer to that question. Hopefully, that was a good enough answer. And have I seen a yowie? I don't know. I've seen a very large creature out the corner of my eye. That was black silhouetted, and when I looked back, because it was kind of like in my peripheral, it wasn't there. And I went back to go see where it was, and it would have been 8 9 foot tall. Um, who knows? It could have just been a trick of the mind, but who knows? Who knows? I'm not saying I had a Yowie encounter, but fits the bill a little bit. But I would never claim that. So yeah, that's my type of encounter. So I'm just going to the chat here again, because I did see another question in here that I liked. hmm The answer is yes. Yes, Jeffrey. Um, an episode of the podcast has featured someone being taken by the MIB. Um, so yeah, I don't know if it's the MIB, but let's just say people of power, and quite interesting. And I'm in talks with someone who definitely has had some MIB experience, and they've been hassled for a long time since they contacted me to come on my little show. So let's there might be more to that. All right. We're getting to the pointy end of the night, guys. Going back to the chat. All righty. So but yeah, MIB a real or something like that is definitely real. Actually, episode 4 of the podcast features a really good experience of potential MIB action. It is an absolute like listener favorite, and it was the episode title from memory is UFOs in Country Victoria, where a lady saw a UFO on a hill, and then government bodies came and took her and her family away for questioning, put them in separate rooms, and got them to draw what they saw. They took her husband, and her children. So it's got to be pretty serious for that to happen. And yeah, it's just a really terrific episode. It was genuinely mind blowing, and some of the events that happened in that episode, the poor family was so terrified of what was happening, they basically almost lost control of their car. So it's it's scary. Or we do have a call coming in. They're sneaking in right at the 11th hour. Caller, what's your name and where you're from?
Yeah, g'day, mate. Darren, and I'm from Mirrabul.
How you doing, Darren? You're like down the road.
Yeah, just down the road, mate. Yeah, anyway, I I've only just stumbled across your sort of show and didn't know it was online or anything. So this is the first time I've actually watched it. But then I just heard you talking just before to say that you're in Cairns.
Yeah, mate. Oh, well, welcome. It's great to have you here.
Yeah. So I have had a pretty scary run-in with what I really do believe was a yowie. I didn't actually see it because it was at night time and I was hiking. And there was two of us, me and my best mate. And the only other person I've really told, because I've got pretty curious about sort of what it was and had really no idea about it, and then just did a lot of research and that sort of stuff and sort of worked out that's the only thing it could have been. And I spoke to Sarah Bicknell.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a name?
Yeah.
Sarah? I can't remember the name of the show she's on. Anyway, she called me up and asked if I'd do an interview, and she was sort of about the only one I've sort of really told about it.
Oh, wow.
So it happened quite a while ago. It was 2011. And I'm still a very sort of avid bushwalker hiker, do a lot of hikes to waterfalls. I do a lot of photography.
Oh, lovely.
And that sort of stuff. And you've probably heard of this hike. It's called the Cannonball Falls.
Mm.
So we were doing that back in 2011, and me and a mate, and we got up there late because the day before or the night before we'd gone up to Crandor to watch John Butler Trio play at the Crandor Amphitheatre.
Awesome.
And yeah. And anyway, we camped at a mate or friend's place at Crandor, and we got up sort of late. And we tried to do that hike, maybe, I don't know, about a couple of years before. But we actually got lost on it. There was a whole group from work doing it, and the reason we got lost was because it was a fairly new track, and it was really well overgrown. I think this was about 2000, about 7, something like that. We tried. There was actually about 20 of us from work, but we came across a lot of stinging trees, and a lot of us got hit by the stinging tree, so we all turned back. But anyway, since then the national parks put in a track, and so anyway, mate asked me, he said, what are we going to do this Arvo? And I said, we should go and do that Cannonball track. There's up near Ravenshoe, not far, So not really sort of thinking about it too much, because we're just used to hiking and doing bushwalks and coming back at night, no problems at all, no worries, didn't really bother us. So we thought, let's give it a go. So we got to the track, I don't know, maybe around lunchtime. And it's about I don't know, maybe 2-hour hike, 2.5 hours hike each way. About three months before, I think it was Cyclone Larry, hit Innisfail.
Yep.
That area. I think it was about 3 months before, and did a lot of damage to the actual hiking track. We didn't know this, of course, and we never checked the website or National Parks website, whether it was open or not or whatever. So we got there, and there was a sign at the on Sooty's Gap Road there, where you pull up for the actual hike, and it says it was by the national parks, and it said temporary closure due to damage to the track from Cyclone Larry. So anyway, we thought about it, and we used to bush bashing and taking some knives with us and cutting down trees and getting hit by wait a while, whatever. So we thought, let's give it a go. And we had I had a backpack with me, but I didn't. It was my own fault a bit. I didn't really sort of research it too much, but it sort of ended up, because it was overgrown, it ended up being a lot longer than what we anticipated. And I didn't have a bloody torch with me in the backpack. Because we'd really only just gone up with the John Butler Trio the night before and didn't really think about doing this hike. It was a long weekend, and that's why we thought we'd give it a bash. So it's me and my best mate started hiking, and going along the track. It's pretty sort of tight track, just wall to wall rainforest either side. And quite a few areas there was a lot of trees down, a lot of bushes down, and obviously there was even some parts of the ridges where the trees were just stripped of all their leaves because part of the cyclone going over. And there was we got stung by bloody stinging trees, and that was the worst thing. Bloody, they're painful as anything.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, on the track, we came across a cassowary, 2, 3, I think it was about 3 wild pigs. One charged us.
Shit.
But anyway, that's happened a few times before, because when you're out in the rainforest, you do run into a lot of pigs.
Oh yeah, they're rampant around this way.
Yeah. Anyway, so we followed the track as much as we could, and about, I don't know, maybe a kilometre from the actual waterfall, it sort of splits in two. And there's a couple of there was a couple of signposts along the track, but they were all fallen down because they were all damaged because of the bloody cyclone. And we kept walking, and we got to this sort of junction, and there was a sign on the ground, and it was pointing to the falls, and it was obviously been pushed over with a tree. It was probably put up by the national parks and was on a tree or something like that. I'm not sure. But luckily we seen it, because it sort of, it was like a T section sort of thing. So we were just lucky that it was pointing in the right direction. So off we went, kept walking, and it was about probably 3 o'clock we got to the waterfall. Had a swim. That's right. The other funny thing was, because we sort of in a bit of a rush, all I had was, I bought some bananas at Tolga, a bag of bananas, and I still had a 6-pack of beer. So that's all we had. So anyway, we got to the waterfall. We had a couple of bananas and a couple of cold stubbies, and a good swim. And it started raining, so we just decided, okay, let's start walking back. By this time it was about maybe 5 o'clock. And of course, raining up in the rainforest gets dark pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
So we started walking back. Well, it was sort of getting fairly dark. You could sort of still see in front of you, but we got to this T section, and because it was dark, we missed the sign. And we got to the junction and took the wrong turn. And we're just talking, as you do, bushwalking or whatever. And I didn't realise at that time that I did have a light, but get onto that. But at that time, I didn't realise I had a light. And so we're just walking sort of fairly dark. Took the wrong turn, kept walking. Next thing we're going through this really, really tall guinea grass. Really, really tall. Like it was probably 2-3 meters high.
Oh, wow.
And we're sort of really just pushing it over and sort of my mate says to me, mate, didn't go through this skinny grass. And I'm going, yeah, you're right. And then we sort of second guessing ourselves, where the hell we've taken the wrong turn and what do we do? And by this time it was, getting fairly dark. And then I was getting nervous. My mate was getting nervous because we're both sort of in working out shit we're bloody lost. And then I thought, well, best thing we can do, we know where we've come from. We'll just backtrack and go back to the waterfall where we've come from. And best we can do is just stay the night at the waterfall. Because then, we still had a couple of beers. I think we had 2 beers and we had a couple of bananas still in the backpack. But that's sort of what I thought we'd do. So that's what we sort of started doing. So we sort of started backtracking. We were walking for about half an hour. And then we come across the sign on the ground. And we'd seen that. And so then we sort of, we realised that we'd actually got to that T-shirt section and taken the wrong turn. So we knew sort of where we were then. And I said to my mate, Ryan, I said, what do you want to do? Do you want to go back to the waterfall and just camp there tonight? Although we had nothing to camp in. We were just going to sleep rough. And he said, no, let's keep walking back to the car. And it was about another probably hour and a half, something like that, back to the car. So that's what we did. And of course, we're climbing over trees and wait a while, stinging trees. Man, we got hit by stinging trees like you wouldn't believe. That was painful. Anyway, we were probably maybe about half an hour from the car, and you got to cross one creek on the track, and we weren't far from that creek. We were probably only about 10 minutes walk, and by this time it was pretty well pitch black. And we were sort of walking along, and I was in front, my mate was behind me, and then I could hear something up ahead, and it was very loud. To me, it sounded like scratching of the ground. That's what it sounded like, and to me, it would be like I was envisaging like a cassowary, digging with its foot.
Mm.
That's what it sounded like, and we sort of both stopped, and we could clearly hear it, but it was so hard to judge how close it was because it was dark. It was pitch black in the rainforest. It was drizzly rain, and I couldn't work out. You could hear it digging. I was thinking, oh shit, maybe it's that bloody cassowary, because we did see a cassowary on the track. Although when we'd seen it was probably about 30 meters ahead of us on the track, and by the time we sort of got up towards where it was off the track by about 20 meters, and it just sort of watched us. And I took a couple of pictures of it, as you do, seeing a cassowary on the track and that sort of stuff. So we could hear it digging, and I thought, bloody hell, what are we going to do? Would this bloody thing charge us, or would it just, stay there? And that's all I thought it was. I just thought it was a bloody cassowary. So I said to my mate, well, just to make sure, let's just run past it and get as far away as from possible, because you don't want it bloody charging us at night time, running on a track and with a bloody cassowary after us. So I had no idea what the thing would charge us or come after us or not. I really did think that it would probably just stay there. That's what I really did think. So, yeah, so that's what we did. We sort of crept up a bit towards where we thought it was and then just bolted past it. And we ran probably, I don't know, maybe 50 metres, 100 metres, and sort of stopped. And we sort of caught our breath a bit. And anyway, I opened up my backpack, had a banana, and then I realised I had my mobile phone. And I don't remember the phones have a little pen light on them. So I thought, shit, there's bloody light. So turned it on, and luckily I hadn't actually taken too many pictures on my phone, so it still had a fair bit of battery on. I can't remember how much, but so if you can envisage, we're walking along this track, and I'm holding sort of up my phone up in the air, so that because my mate was in front of me, and I was sort of holding the phone up in the air a bit, so the light was sort of spreading in front of him, but also so I could see as well. And we're walking along the track, and oh, sorry, I was in front. That's right, I was in front, and my mate was behind me. And I don't know, we went a little bit further, and Ryan, my mate, says, "Oh, I can hear that bloody thing behind us." I'm saying, "What, the cassowary?" And he's going, "Yeah, I can hear it in the bush behind us." Okay. So we stopped, couldn't hear it. We waited, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds, couldn't hear anything. Then we kept walking, and maybe another minute. And then I could hear something in the bush as well, and it was like running. And I'm thinking, geez, it is a bloody cassowary, and it's following us. And we couldn't tell whether it was actually on the track or in the bush because, little light with a mobile phone doesn't go that far. But we were sort of more worried about sort of seeing the track in front of us because the light doesn't go that big. Anyway, we kept walking, and he was behind me. He's going, "Mate, it's getting closer. It's not far behind us." And he was really, really nervous. Anyway, next thing, bang, he's gone straight round me. He's in front. Okay, you bastard, you're leaving me behind. So anyway, we both stopped, and you could hear it walking in the bush, and then it stopped. And we kept walking, and I said, "Ryan, just up ahead, just stop for a minute, and we'll see if we can hear it walking again." And we walked, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 seconds, stopped, and you could hear it walking. And then it had stopped, and it was close. I would say it's so hard to judge distances at night time, when you don't see anything, but you're just going by sound. And I would say 20, 30 metres, and you could hear it slowly, sort of when we were stopped, you could hear it go crunch, crunch, crunch through the bush, and I'm holding up my phone, and the light doesn't travel that far, but maybe 10 metres. I'm not sure, but I couldn't see anything, but I knew it was close. So we're sort of just thinking, what the hell are we going to do? And we kept walking, and then I could distinctly hear it really close, and I was getting bloody nervous. So I said to Ryan, I said, "Stop," and I said, "Just look for some timber or some branches and see if we can," because I wanted something to bloody protect myself. So I'm thinking this thing, or I thought it was just a cassowary. It could have been a pig. You can't tell.
Yeah.
But so I'm sort of holding the phone up, and I'm looking around. I find this branch, and it was a decent sized branch, but it was pretty long. And I found a sort of an offcut on it, and so I grabbed it, And I said, you hang on to the phone because I needed both hands to snap it, to make it a decent size, because it was too big. It was probably about 3-4 meters long. And so I wanted something, about a meter long. 3-4 meters was just too long. But so I grabbed it and put it, on my knee, gave it a crack and snap. And then I just heard this almighty rush just through the bush. And it was like running straight at us. And I said to Ryan, quick, hold up the light. And I grabbed the branch that I had, and it was a decent size. It was about the size round of about my fist, and I'm hanging on to and I'm thinking, where the hell is it? And it wasn't on the track. It was in the bush. So it wasn't. He was holding up the light because we just thought it was on the track behind us, but it was actually in the bush on the side of us, and it was so close. I don't know how close, probably 5-10 meters. I don't know. And then, this is how it started. How we couldn't work out what the hell it was. I thought it was a bloody pig or a cassowary. But then we hear all the branches going snap, 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 snap. And right over the top of us is this huge bloody rock. And it would have been the size of a bowling ball, straight over the top of us and lands 3 meters the other side of us. And you could I could see it from the shadow from the light, and went straight over the top of us. And Brian, he had the phone, he was holding it up, he was going, what the hell?
Jesus.
And we're both like absolutely bloody dumbfounded, like, looking at this rock that came through that could have bloody killed us, hit us on the head. And this rock came from just nowhere. And it came through the tops of the trees, sort of thing, and landed, like I said, about 3 meters from us, and thud. And then it landed down, and we're both sort of looking at this rock, and it was like time stood still. We're just, what you'd say, like in disbelief, just trying to work out what the hell, where does a rock like that come from? It just had us like, we're just standing there with both our bloody mouths wide open going, where the hell did that come from? And we're just staring at it. And then, like I was telling Sarah, it was just incredible. This scream, this, holy shit.
It screamed at you.
It just absolutely screamed at the top of its voice.
Wow.
And man, 2 guys went white. And that's when I knew it wasn't a cassowary, it wasn't a pig. I'm thinking, I had absolutely no idea, because before that, we'd been hiking together, me and my mate, for probably 5 years, and we'd never come across anything other than pigs or cassowaries.
Wow.
But to see something that threw a rock the size of, it would have been definitely the size of a 10-pin bowling ball or Besser block.
Wow.
Straight over the top of us, and then just lands there, and we're going, you're just looking and you're going, where the hell did that come from? And then this scream, that's what got us. And it still racks me to this day that the scream was just, it was just like a roar. It was so intense. I was telling Sarah, it was just like how deafening. I don't know if you remember the old jets, when you used to walk up the rear end of the jets, and you'd be right next to the jet engine. When you're going on the planes, there's 2 entrances, the front one and the rear one, and you're right next to the engine there. That it's so loud. It was just like and she asked me what it sounded like, and the only thing I can, I don't know, maybe think that it sounds like I've heard, and gave me goosebumps when I heard it, but it was a lot louder and stronger. And have you ever heard of Tasmanian devil?
Yeah. Yeah.
They go like that. I'm sounding a bit stupid, but that's mate. If you ever heard of Tasmanian devil, that's what this thing sounded like, but it was just like 10 times louder.
Unbelievable.
And we just legged it, and we were just legging it, and we got to this creek. I can't remember the name of the creek, and we just ran through this creek. It was probably maybe a 5-minute run, 10-minute run. I really can't remember. We were just running, and I remember we got to the creek, got over the creek, and I was nearly ready to bloody spew. I was running it so hard, and so was my mate. And the problem was, all we had was this pen light from the mobile phone. So you had running through and you're dodging bushes, and mate, and
a nightmare situation to be caught in.
Oh, mate, I was telling Ryan after that, I didn't want to tell him, but I could hear it behind me. I could hear it running behind me.
Jeez. I tell you what, Darren, I think I need to get you on the show for a proper episode, mate, because I've gone so far over time tonight for tonight's call-in show. Mate. But yeah, mate, you've hooked me. So what I want to do, I want to get you on the show as a proper guest and really flush this out with you, because I have 100 questions and I don't have enough time tonight for it. So
okay, yeah.
If you're down for that, Darren, let's connect, mate, and have a chat, like a proper chat about it.
Sure, yeah, no worries. Like I said, the only person I've told is that Sarah Bicknell, lovely lady.
Yeah.
She just called me up and asked me for an interview, and it's only sort of since then I've tried to put, because I just had no idea. I thought it was some bloody druggie up there, running bloody drugs. But then I thought, how can a person throw a bloody boulder over our heads and this thing and scream? Like, no human could scream like this. And
absolutely. But yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I've taken up your time, mate. Anyway,
no, not an issue at all. It was fascinating. But Darren,
just the short of it was after that, it took me and my mate probably 3 to 5 years before we went back out in the bush. It
don't blame you.
Scared us so much, but now we're back out there because I've just done a lot of just research myself, and from what I believe is they just scare people. They just scare them away.
Yeah.
I don't think they're there. From what I believe, they're not there to harm us. I've only read a couple of times where people have been, pushed or shoved or something like that, or hit, but majority of the cases, from what I believe, they chuck rocks and they scream, and that's what I thought. It's got to be a bloody yowie.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. And then I've just done a lot.
Definitely fits the bill for a yowie encounter, that's for sure. And I tell you what, Darren,
like I said, I've never seen it. So.
No, and most encounters are just a non-visual kind of sighting. So there's thousands of people out there in Australia who kind of would be in the same boat as you. But thank you so much for calling up, man. It was super cool to talk to you. Yeah,
no worries at all, Digger.
And make sure, get in touch with me, like shoot me a Facebook message or something like that. But yeah, I'd love to go in deep on this one with you for a proper interview, mate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. I'm sort of over the nervousness of it now. I still think about it like it just happened. But yeah, look, I don't tell anyone other than my mate that was with us, and that's all. I've told a couple of good friends and that, but no one bloody believes you.
Stuff.
I don't care. Yeah, no, that's right. I don't care. So
that's it.
I know we both know what happened. We both got shit scared that night, and But anyway, I won't take any more time up.
No,
Sorry,
mate.
mate.
No, it was an absolute pleasure talking to you. It wasn't an issue at all. But thank you so much for calling in, Darren. Your story was your encounter is terrifying, mate, and I'd love to go in on it properly with you and give you the justice it needs, I think.
Okay. Yeah, no worries at all, mate. I'll just shoot you a message, private message. I guess that's the best thing.
Yeah, perfect, mate. Perfect. It's I'm keen for it. So yeah, man, get in touch and
Okay.
we'll take the next steps from there.
Yeah, no worries at all, mate. Catch you later, eh?
Cool, mate. Cheers. Thank you so much for calling in.
See you, Digger.
Catch you, mate.
Bye.
Holy moly, what a way to end the night. You cheeky bastards got an extra 20 minutes out of me. That was a stitch up. Thank you so much, Darren, for calling in. I would absolutely crap my dacks, to put it lightly, if I was in that situation that he was. Holy moly, it was imagine you just got this little tiny pin light and that's all you've got to navigate your way out of a bush from a bloody Yowie encounter. Terrifying stuff and scary to know, that's like fairly regional to me. So yeah, thank you so much, Darren. You're a top bloke for calling in and sharing that. And I'll have to check out that story with Sarah. I'll get her to shoot me a direct link to that one because I'm very keen to chat with you, mate. Absolutely keen. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging around and staying with me for this extended show. And if you like what you hear and you want to support the show, I would absolutely love it if you join Believe Plus. You'll get early access episodes, early access to the next season, that's for sure. Ad-free episodes, and yeah, you'll get a whole bunch of video content too, because this stuff is going to disappear as soon as I hit stop. So if you're only joining now, the only way you'll be able to get this is by becoming a Believe Plus member. So thank you so much, guys. If you like the podcast, make sure you subscribe, share it with a friend, share it with your mom, share it with your dad, share it with your brother or your sister or anyone who will absolutely listen to it, because the more listeners we get, the more people who will want to share their stories, because you just never know. The next person you share this podcast with may want to get something off their chest, and that could be game changing. So, guys, thank you so much. And I will catch you in a couple of weeks. We got something a little bit special coming out, a little documentary review. I'm going to, for the people who are stuck around, you'll get a little heads up on this. Myself, Attila Coldy, and Don Mears, who are the respected directors from the Australian Sky series and, of course, the Track series, are going to be doing like a monthly or kind of bi-monthly catch-up to review a spooky documentary about something. So the documentaries we will be choosing will be on Tubi. It's a free streaming service. So everyone will have the same access to what we're watching. You don't have to pay for that. And my voice is absolutely going. So that's something to just watch out. That's going to come out, I think, in about 2 weeks. We're going to do that live stream. So this weekend, I will let everybody know the documentary that we're going to be reviewing if you want to watch it yourself. But until then, I've been Cade. You've been watching the Believe live stream. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. And thank you so much for Truckee for calling in. And of course, Darren for that absolutely terrifying encounter that he had with his friend that we are going to flush out on a future episode of the podcast if he is keen. But until next time, thank you very much and have a good night. Cheers, guys.